morning. Good morning. Woo. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. It's Tyrus Bane, aka The Definition, aka Snapzilla Gorilla, all that good shit, you know. It is a beautiful morning. You guys can see a little bit of the cloud cover right now. And your boy's out here rucking, you know what I mean? This morning I decided to add another 20 pounds to my pack. I see they on that bullshit this morning. Okay. Can you hear me, Kelvin? Yes, your boy is out here rucking this morning. So I added another 20 pounds. So with everything that I have, including and not in the truck with me. So I couldn't understand why y'all couldn't hear me. Well, the mic for the speaker was on, and since the speaker was not near me, that's why y'all couldn't hear me. But I figured it out. Anyway, so what I want to talk about is this Claressa Shields versus Camron and Amanda Serrano scenario, which really shouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? It really should not be a thing. But the individual that made it a thing, that had, because controversy sells. Controversy sells, even if he was dead wrong. And yes, I'm talking about Camron. He was dead wrong. You understand? He was wrong. And Claressa Shields responded as she saw fit. Because this is her legacy we're talking about. But, you know, Camron had to take it to another level that it did not have to go to. But he took it there because as a businessman in the field that he operates in, you know, it's good for his business. So can't really be mad at that. But at the same time, he was still wrong. Camron Fields was good. So there should have been zero issue, right? It should have been the thing. Because number one, we know Camron is a casual when it comes to boxing. You understand? He's even said that himself. Well, he had an opportunity to, you know, get in on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing, which a lot of people got in on it that aren't necessarily staples in the boxing media world. So everybody had an opportunity to capitalize on it, you know what I mean? You had streamers getting thousands of people in their live chats because of that fight. So, you know, Camron did what Camron was gonna do. He cashed in on a controversy. He saw an opportunity, and he took it. Man, that wind is hitting on something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, here's the thing though. Let's talk about the timeline. Queen Camron was good. Peace and blessings to you. Y'all go check out Queen Camron. Check out her channel. She has a channel. It's a great channel. All about mental health. She is a mental health professional, so she knows what she's talking about. So, anyway, here's the thing. The timeline. Now, Camron was doing that face-to-face or whatever with Jake Paul and motherfucking Mike Tyson when, you know, they were talking, and this was before the fight. This was before that Friday of the fight. You understand? On Netflix. So Camron said something that was completely false. And it was not based on opinion. You understand? You hear people talk about, oh, it's Camron's opinion, this, that. Everything that is said that ends up being wrong, and you want to defend that individual using the opinion narrative does not fly all the time. Taylor versus Serrano, one was the highest viewed women's boxing match. That's what he said. He didn't state an opinion. He pontificated. There's a difference between pontificating and stating an opinion. Pontificating is when you state, you make a statement as if it's fact when it's really not, and you're really ignorant to the facts. You're stating it as though it's a fact, meaning you don't believe it's an opinion. You believe what you're saying is actually correct. That's what Camron did. It was not a fucking opinion. It was him pontificating. He wasn't stating a fact. He wasn't stating an opinion. He was pontificating. If y'all don't know what that word means, look. So that's what Camron did. Okay. Well, it's a false statement. It's not a false fact. There's no such thing. One thing that get on my nerves when people say false fact or that's an untrue fact. Facts can't be untrue. Facts cannot be false. So what it is a false statement. It's a false narrative. It's a false assertion. It was not opinion, and it wasn't a fact. It was a false statement. He thought it was true, but it wasn't. And I don't know who gave him that information, but I'm pretty sure whoever gave him that information wanted to present it as though Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano had the highest viewed women's boxing match. But it wasn't. Exactly, Queen Camron. It is or it isn't. So it wasn't true. You understand? And so here's what Claressa Shields did. Initially, she did not take it to the public. You understand? She did not take it to the public. She hit up Camron in a DM and told him that Katie Taylor versus Serrano 1 was not the highest viewed women's boxing match. She said me and Savannah Marshall had the highest viewed women's boxing match at over 2 views. Katie Serrano was 1.5. All right. These are facts. Not only that, she headlined that, her and Savannah Marshall headlined it, and it was an all women's card, meaning all women fought on that card, and they headlined it. So these are parameters and variables that we have to take into account. All variables matter. You understand? You don't always know what all the variables are. Some variables you're privy to, some you ain't. In this case, we know the variables. We know the parameters, right? Katie Serrano, that one was not an all-women's card. But and they headlined that one. You understand? Shields versus Marshall, that was an all-women's card. They headlined it. Over 2 million. That's the fact. So, Claressa Shields corrected Camron privately, right? Corrected him privately. Well, I might as well say her. But anyway, what does Camron do? He shows their DMs, right? He didn't respond to her saying it, by the way, right? According to reports. He did not respond to that. She corrected him. He said nothing. Before that fight, where, and here's the key thing, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul headlined. Okay, and I will explain the differences as if I should have to. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. So Camron said nothing, right, until after the fight, after that fight night with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson headline, and Serrano and Katie Taylor fought, and they got the entire fight card peaked at 50 million views, or 50 million households. So it could have been anywhere from 75 to 125 million views. All right. And then that's when Camron decided to come out and expose their conversation. And then after that, he said, well, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano got 50 million. You reached at her, whatever the fuck he said. Now, here's the problem with that. All right. Yes, 50 million people viewed peak. There was 50 million peak views on that card. 50 million households. 22 Ronin was good. 50 million views peak. That means at the most, that's what they got. Now, here's the thing. When did Netflix start buffering? When did Netflix start fucking up? Was it during the Indian versus the Brazilian fight? Because, you know, one guy was a YouTuber, and other guys, I don't know what the fuck he was. The Brazilian guy was a YouTuber with 50 million followers, and the Indian dude, who the fuck knows what he was? But if y'all saw that fight, you know that if you're gonna give Katie Taylor and Serrano credit for 50 million views, you have to give the most clown show fight on that card. You have to give them that credit as well. And I'm not gonna do that. But Camron did that. Camron decided to give Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano credit for those 50 million views as though, you know, they attracted those views on their own. And we know that's not the case. It's not the same thing. It's not the same shit. It's not the same circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Completely different parameters and variables. You know, it's a false comparison. You cannot compare what Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano did on that Friday night to what Claressa and Savannah Marshall did when they headlined an all-women's card and got those over 2 million views. It's just, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but you can compare it. Like, you can do whatever you want, but it's gonna be a fallacious. It's a fallacious argument. It's a fallacious talking point because it's not the same shit. You cannot attribute. You can try, but you don't know the numbers. You don't know the metrics. You don't know how many people exactly watched Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? But you could say, well, the reason we got the 50 million views is because the reason Katie Taylor got the 50 million views with Serrano, no, the reason there was 50 million views that night was because Jake Paul and Mike Tyson headlined. They're the reason those 50 million views came. Not Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. You understand? It's just not true. You know, it's not true. So that's just reality. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. It was a great fight. It was one of the best fights on the card. It was better than the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. Those things, that can be true, and the fact that they did not bring those 50 million people can also be true. You understand? That's just what it is. So this whole thing should not be a thing at all. Claressa acts like Bernard Hopkins now and then. Yeah, I mean, she might. It is what it is. But no, I wouldn't say that. Bernard Hopkins is that dude talk about punch drunk. No, Claressa's not there yet. And here's people's problem. The people that are going in on Claressa Shields, they have a problem with her. Why? They have a problem with her because, you know, she's mouthy. And she likes to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? So she likes to brag about herself. She likes to bring up that she's the GOAT. She coined the term GOAT, by the way. They don't like that about her. And they talk about, oh, she's masculine, all this, that, and the third. And did she foolishly call out male boxers? Yeah, foolishly. Did she get knocked out by a journeyman? So they call him a journeyman male boxer in a sparring match? Yes. But how many grown-ass men got knocked out by other grown-ass men in sparring matches? What the fuck are we talking about? We're gonna put down a female boxer for getting knocked down by a male boxer as though that's not supposed to happen or that couldn't happen. We clown her because of it. Because even after that, she's still confident in her abilities. When male boxers get dropped in sparring all the time. They get knocked out in sparring all the time. I've seen it for myself. I've done it myself in sparring. It's not on purpose, but shit happens. You hit them right on the button, motherfuckers can go down. That's part of the game. But, oh, it happens to Claressa. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, she wildin'. Camron Fields, I agree with you 100%. She be yapping definitely, but she not on no Sambo time. Exactly. I have a booger on my nose. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you for being all up my nose. Appreciate that. But anyway, people don't like Claressa Shields because she's masculine. She brags about her boxing ability. Oh, she likes to check people when they try to big up other female boxers. When I don't think that's true at all. But I love how people say, oh, when a boxer thinks they're the best, they're supposed to, even if they're not. But when Claressa does it, it's a problem. And I don't agree with the whole narrative that, well, when she says Camron's going at her because she's a black female. Because I don't know what's in Camron's heart. I can't prove his intent. But I do know that he don't know shit. And this shouldn't even have been a thing. He shouldn't have exposed their messages like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Not even a woman, really. Because I know women that would not expose people's, their private conversations. No, that's whole shit. And yeah, I know, we're supposed to be afraid of Camron. Black Spring with Autumn was good. Look at you checking me out on a boxing topic. Look at you. Y'all check out Black Spring Autumn too. Queen Black Spring with Autumn. She's dope. She's smart, very intelligent. Y'all go check her out as well. She's also tired of the left-right paradigm lie, like myself. And because of that, they stifle her channel as well. Part of the game. Anyway, so, yeah, this whole shit. I know, we're supposed to be afraid of the big bad Camron, right? Because he's a dealer back. They'll kill you if you look at him. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That was whole shit. Let me tell y'all a little bit about myself. I grew up in Compton and South Central. I grew up around treetop motherfuckers, Pyru motherfuckers, blood motherfuckers, Black Pea Stone, Rolling 60 Crips, you know what I'm saying? Crenshaw Mafia. I got family from Inglewood family. I got family, Inglewood family, that are shot callers. And Crenshaw Mafia. And on the east side, you know what I'm saying? My sister is a gangbanger. I grew up around gangsters I don't give a fuck about a gangster. Are you kidding me? Now, I'll respect the shit out of a gangster that actually turned his life around and try to stop the violence. That's what I respect. But I grew up around these motherfuckers. I don't fear a motherfucking anybody. No, fuck that. Camron was a hoe. That was hoe shit. Period. You know what I'm saying? That was hoe shit. Y'all been following my channel for a while. Y'all know I had motherfucking I had a PDF file. You know what I'm saying? That was trying to threaten me and my family. And I told them where I was at. Motherfuckers never came to see about me. I don't give a fuck about a motherfucking Camron drug dealing bullshit. That was whole shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, one time, you know, when I got out the military, my brother was doing pretty. Now, my brother grew up a little different than me. He went to the pen and all that type of shit. He was, he went the opposite direction as me. He was always hanging out with the gang members and all that shit. He hung out with a lot of Roll 60 Crips. You know, that was his thing. You know, he never joined, never got put on, but he was damn sure affiliated. I didn't affiliate like he did. You know what I'm saying? But when he got a job doing security, and his boss was actually a blood, an OG. You know what I'm saying? Who got into trucking and security and all this type of shit. And there were some projects on the east side of LA, not East LA, east side. There's a difference between the east side and East LA. Black Spring Autumn, it's all good. Make you a legit shadow boxer. I heard that. So yeah, he was doing security at the projects on the east side. And he was thinking about getting me a job over there, and I was more than willing to do it. But the difference between me and my brother gets along with everybody. And just mingle and entertain and all this type. I'm not that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm quiet, reserved. I like to observe. You know, and people, depending on the situation, they want you to engage with them. And I don't like to engage with everybody, you know what I'm saying? I like to because I don't know you like that. But anyway, of course in these projects there were gang members. Like, the whole neighborhood had gangs, but it was just gang. You know what I'm saying? And it was, you know, east side Crips. So you got Bloods and Crips on the east side, but it was the Crip side. And yeah, he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get you this job, blah, blah, like, for sure. And he was like, man, but I gotta tell you, there's a lot of motherfucking gang members hanging out. And, you know, you gotta be careful with them motherfuckers. I said, man, I don't give a fuck about no goddamn gang members. You know what I'm saying? I said, if they step to me, I mean, that's why I'm doing security, right? I'm supposed to secure shit. If they step to me, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. It is what it is. I'm not about to cower and kowtow because you're a gang member. I don't give a fuck. Gang member, drug dealer, mafioso, I don't give a hot fuck. You disrespect me or whatever it is, you know, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And when I said that, weeks and weeks had gone by. I said, bro, what's up with this job, man? He said, nah, man, I can't let you do it. I said, why not? He said, because I know you'll go off on one of these motherfuckers and they'll want to kill your ass. I said, whatever, man, whatever. But, you know, where my brother was not able to get a concealed carry license as security because of his, you know, because he was a convicted felon, I was. So I was like, I'll be strapped. And I can guarantee you I'm a better shot than 90% of them motherfuckers. Don't worry about me. But he wouldn't give me the job because of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Because he felt like I would get into it with them dudes. Yeah. And I don't know those cats. But the ones we grew up around, I know them, you know what I'm saying? And it would be a different story. But I mean, that's how I roll, man. With anybody. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. But anyway, I was never impressed with the danger level of a gang member. I'm like, I'm not impressed. You just like me. Except you might be a little more psychotic. You know? But it is what it is. Like I know the nature of the gangs. I know the nature of gangs, right? The nature of gangs in reality is pretty silly. It's very territorial. That's really what it's about. A lot of gang members are not drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? They're not drug dealers. A lot of them, some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them, they just hang out in their territory and, defend their territory. Like, it's just silly. They're not really getting anything out of it except for a lot of death, a lot of dead homies. And innocent children catching strays. That's really why I don't respect it. Because what the fuck y'all shooting at? The fuck y'all shooting at? That's how I know if I ever had to get into it, I could probably take 5 or 10 of them out before 20 of them took me out. Because y'all don't even know how to fucking shoot. Anyway, that's another story. The bottom line is, that the facts are this. When Claressa Shields headlined her own card, and it doesn't matter if it was all female or not. When she headlined, she had the most views. More views than Katie Taylor in Serrano the first time. And the fact that we're trying to attribute those 50 million views to Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor just to prove ourselves right, I mean, that doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't understand where we're getting that from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because they didn't headline. That's one thing that you can take off the table with that comparison. That you shouldn't even have to take it any further. It should not go any further than that. Once you say, well, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano did not headline. That's it. When they did headline, they did less. I don't understand why we have to take it any further than that. But the problem is, again, everybody's worried about Claressa Shields' mouth. I'm not worried about her mouth. I feel like in the world of boxing, she can talk as much shit as you want. If she want to say she's the best, if she wants to check Amanda Serrano when Amanda Serrano tries to say that she's the best, I don't see what the problem is. Oh, she's masculine. Okay. But she's a boxer. What she's being masculine about is boxing. Boxing is her profession. Do you want her to be demure and, oh, well, I'm the best. You want to do the little hand framing bullshit while she said, like, what are you doing? What are we talking about? She's a fucking boxer. So in the world of boxing, when discussing boxing, she's a fucking boxer first. So if she wants to have grand delusions of grandeur about fucking boxing, so what? All these boxers, we tell them, oh, you're supposed to think you the best. But when she does it, oh, she's a masculine. Oh, she's so masculine. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, hell no. She shouldn't be talking this, and I'm getting tired of talking. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about? Like, for real. Let's think about this. Are y'all trying to date Claressa Shields? Are we talking about dating Claressa Shields, or are we talking about boxing? Because myself, it's not really that and then cooled off, warmed up a little bit. Because let's say dating, am I going to choose to date a woman that is masculine and super assertive and aggressive? And no, I'm not. But if I date a boxer, let's say I wanted to date Alicia Baumgartner. Let's say I want to date her, which I probably would, in another reality. But when it comes to boxing, she's a little more assertive. She's just as assertive as a male boxer. But we're talking about a profession where she has to whoop up on people and not get whooped up on. People are trying to whoop up on her, and she's trying to whoop up on people. So she's going to have to display a little aggressiveness and assertiveness. But as long as she bring that ass home, and when she bring that ass home, takes a shower, you know what I'm saying? She melts before me. But see, she can shut that off. Now, Alicia Baumgartner might be less assertive and less aggressive than Claressa Shields, but she's still more assertive and more aggressive than the average non-boxing woman. Why? Because she's a fucking boxer. So when I think about how Claressa Shields behaves when addressing boxing, I'm not worried about feminine versus masculine. Because when she gets in the ring, she has to put her life on the line just like a male boxer. And if she wants to call out male boxers, and if she actually, like she called out Keith Thurman, if Keith Thurman agreed to fight her, and they got it in, and she got her ass whooped, that's okay, that's what she get. She stepped into the ring as a boxer. But I'm not gonna take nothing away from her, because we're talking about boxing. We're not talking about dating. If y'all were talking about dating, and we were talking about the dating world, I would get all these criticisms about Claressa Shields that y'all give. But she's not. Y'all are not trying to date her. So I don't understand. She called out Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman whoops her. He whoops her as a boxer. She decided to step in that ring. So if she really feels like she can compete against the male boxers, again, that's boxing. I don't agree with it. Myself, I would not do it. If I were a professional boxer and Claressa Shields called me out, I wouldn't do it. But that's just me personally. But I'm not going to knock her for doing it because she's a woman. She's a fucking boxer. She's a female boxer. And I wouldn't do it because she's a female boxer. But that's me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what the problem is with that y'all have with Claressa Shields when she's talking her shit about boxing. She's talking her shit, stating the facts, saying the true things, saying that she had the most viewed boxing match with Savannah Marshall. That's a fucking fact. She corrected Camron's false statement, not his fucking opinion, his false statement. He made a false statement. She corrected that ass. And like a hoe, he decided to put her on blast out in the public and try to embarrass her. You know what I'm saying? Start talking about how she's a man and this and that. You know, that's that whole shit he did. You know, and that, you know, that's just reality. That's the reality of this situation. It shouldn't even be anything that we have to talk about. I mean, but we can, and that's why I'm doing it now. I'm talking about this now because of what I see as a lot of asininity in the world of boxing today. You know, we talk about how we want we want all these big fights, how we want this, how we want that. Well, can we be consistent and even across the board? You know, I can see. Now here's the thing. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor too. With that, here's the thing. Oh, here's another point. That first Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano fight, they headlined and only got 1.5 million views. They headlined that. Jake Paul was supposed to fight Tyson. So you can see the difference. It might have been a different story if Mike Tyson and Jake Paul had actually fought, but you can see what the difference was, right? You can see the difference. The difference is when Mike Tyson and Jake Paul actually showed up to fight, that's when the views came in. So again, I don't understand why we're trying to give them that. That's not theirs. They were part of it, but if we're going to give them that credit, we got to give it to Barrios too. We got to give it to the Indian and the Brazilian. We got to give it to everybody that fought on that card on Netflix, not the prelims, because that wasn't on Netflix. But everything after the prelims that was on Netflix, we got to give them all that. Or we give it to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, which makes the most sense. It makes the most sense because, well, those are the ones, those are the motherfuckers. They're the headliners. Those people are the reason they sold tickets for what, $2 million or some silly shit like that, and people actually bought. You think the motherfuckers bought them tickets for Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor? No. You think those 50 million views peak came in because of Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor? You think that Netflix started buffering and crashing during Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor? No, it did not. It only started doing that when Mike Tyson and Jake Paul started fighting. So again, what are we talking about? How is this even a thing? Why are we not checking and correcting Camron based on those facts? His opinion. No, it's not his opinion. It's a false statement. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's the world we're dealing with today. The world we're dealing with today deals in who we like the most. Who's the most popular? Who's the coolest? You know, oh, Claressa, she's too masculine. She's too this, she's too that. In fucking boxing. They decided to box, you know, which is essentially a masculine sport, right? It's essentially a masculine. You have to have some level of aggressiveness and assertiveness, which is typically attributed to masculinity when you box, because you're trying to hit and not get hit. You're trying to hurt and not get hurt. You're trying to win. And if you're trying to win, you have to be aggressive. You have to be assertive. You have to be competitive. So what are we talking about? These women routinely spar with men. I've sparred with women. You know what I'm saying? I go a lot lighter on them, but guess what? They don't go light on me. They have to be aggressive just to have an effect when they do land on me. You know what I'm saying? When they land on me, they want it to be effective. So guess what? They're gonna go harder, relatively harder, than I am. I'm not gonna go hard at all. I might do 10%. I might do 10%, you know, because I am very controlled in sparring, and I know what it's for. But the woman, she's controlled, but she's going hard. She has to be more aggressive than me. That's just reality. But guess what? She decided to hop her ass in that ring and spar against a man. So that takes some level of assertive masculinity. Guess what? Everybody has masculine and feminine energy. Everybody. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy. Right? Now, just like you have, everyone has certain level of estrogen and testosterone. Women have a certain level of testosterone, even though they don't have testes. Guess what? That's where they have a certain level. Men have a certain level of estrogen. Now, it's up to an individual to determine how much of that masculine and feminine they tap into. So when women fight professionally fight, they have to tap into a certain level of masculine energy. That's just reality. In order to compete on a high level. So guess what? Is when it comes to promoting, when it comes to talking about their skill level, when it comes to talking about who's the best, who's not the best in women's boxing, women are going to say they're the best. They're going to talk that shit. You know, they're going to say nobody can beat me. They might do all this hand gestures like, yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They might do all that because they're talking about the profession that they make a living in. Claressa Shields is a professional boxer. But y'all don't like it when she talks shit. She might be talking shit to a man who's also a boxer. You know? Alicia Baumgartner doesn't get that same level of disdain when she talks about how she spars men. You know, oh, I sparred a man, I dropped a man. No one's mad at her. But if Claressa talks about that, they get mad at, oh, you trying to be a man. Oh, you trying to be a man. What the fuck are you talking about? She's trying to be a man. Something's wrong with y'all. Are y'all trying to date her? Which I wouldn't be mad about because Claressa Shields is a beautiful woman. But we're not talking about dating. We're talking about her fighting and her boxing career. Sometimes you got to know how to compartmentalize and understand what you're really talking about. Can we do that? Is that okay? As adults, to separate and compartmentalize what goes where? All right, Claressa Shields is talking to us about boxing. Okay, we're doing an interview about boxing today. So we might ask her some tough questions, which is okay. Let's ask Claressa Shields some tough questions. And when we ask her these tough questions, she might get aggressive and assertive because we're asking her tough questions about boxing. To be expected. But we're not going to like it because We're asking her questions. We're challenging her about her boxing career. What? The fuck are we talking about? Claressa Shields has a legacy just like any other boxer. She has a legacy. You know, at all her championships, her 2 gold medals, all that is part of her legacy. If she wants to talk about how she performed, how she created her legacy, and how her legacy has carried her forward, and how important her legacy is to her, why are we mad at that? Why are we dissing her and disrespecting her? Because she wants to highlight her legacy when it's being challenged by the likes of a Camron. So what? If she wants to say, no, motherfucker, I got the highest views of a female boxing match. What are you talking about? If she wants to correct Camron, that's her choice and her prerogative. Camron was wrong, and he said the wrong shit. But did he correct Taylor? That's what I was saying. Camron waited until the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight that drew a peak of 50 million and decided, oh yeah, this is a perfect opportunity to go at Claressa Shields for correcting me by telling her, well, they got 50 million, catch up, on some silly shit. It's silly. But we mad at Claressa for saying the right shit, for stating facts. Oh, but now she's trying to down Amanda Serrano. She's not trying to down Amanda Serrano. She's calling it what it is. She's the fucking GOAT. She's the best. Amanda Serrano is 37 years old. Shields. And, she hasn't accomplished what Claressa Shields has accomplished on many levels. They don't have a movie about Amanda Serrano coming out, but they got one about Claressa Shields. So instead of celebrating Claressa Shields and getting behind her, we want to be mad at her. We want to put her down because she's a man. She want to be a man. She want to be masculine. Oh, yeah. Oh, she want to brag on herself. She want to say she's the best. She wants to use her own term that she created to talk about herself. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, we can't do that. What the fuck are we talking about? We all coming from with this bullshit. Right? Like, what are we saying? Claressa Shields, she can't talk about herself in a good way. Oh, no, she can't. Oh, I'm getting tired of hearing her mouth about talking about herself. Oh, she just needs to shut up sometime. Huh? But y'all get mad when Ann Coulter, or whatever the fuck that white lady, the white conservative newswoman tells LeBron James to shut up and dribble. Now it's not the same exact thing, but it's worse. You're telling Claressa Shields to shut up about her own career and her own legacy in boxing, not in politics. Claressa Shields was not talking about politics. She was not talking about dating. She was talking about boxing. She was talking about women's boxing, what she is a big part of. She brought the spotlight back to women's boxing. But she's not supposed to talk about that, because when she talks about it, it's aggressive and masculine. The fuck? It's like, what y'all want her to channel Emily Post when she's talking about boxing? Maybe it's just me though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe female boxers should daintily sit on the sides, cross their legs at their feet, and fan themselves when they're getting interviewed or when they're discussing boxing. Maybe they should, have their little Shih Tzu on their lap and they're petting it, and they should be doing all these hand movements, these fluttery hand movements. You know what I'm saying? What do you want from them? What do we want from Claressa? What would we want her to do? How do we want her to speak when she's talking about boxing? When she's talking about boxing and her boxing career and her boxing legacy, how do we want her to speak? Jake Paul, no one talks about how Jake Paul talks shit. No one downs him when he fights all these old motherfuckers, these old retired MMA fighters and basketball players. When he tries to act like he's the shit. Oh, well, you know, Jake Paul, you know, he working hard. Yeah, he training like a boxer. So, yeah, right? But Claressa Shields, who's an actual boxer, who's been boxing for a very long time, she's not supposed to say shit. She's supposed to just shut the fuck up about boxing. Oh, don't talk about your legacy. You talk too much. You too masculine. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Y'all make me motherfucking sick. Y'all make me fucking sick. Claressa Shields has every right to brag about her career, to speak on her legacy as she sees fit. She earned that. Claressa Shields earned that. Just like Sha'Carri Richardson earned being able to talk about her legacy as she sees fit. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else. Just like Floyd Mayweather has a right to speak on his legacy, about him being TBE and how he, you know, fought 25 champions and beat 25 champions. And, you know, he can do that, no problem, right? He can do that. But Claressa Shields can't talk about her shit because she's masculine when she does it. The fuck out of here. Oh, I'm tired of her being a man. Speaking like a man, she want a dick. Man, that's wild to me. That's really fucking crazy. That's really crazy. Hey, Claressa, do what you do. Talk your shit. Correct the motherfucker when they speak ill on your not ill on your legacy, but when they shit on your legacy inadvertently by saying somebody else did what you did. Talk your shit. Be aggressive. Be assertive. How else are you going to be taken seriously as a boxer? What? So I guess they're just supposed to turn it on when they get in the ring. Or only be assertive, aggressive when you get in the ring. Or should they not even do it then? I tell you what. This is what we should do. Take away the boxing gloves in women boxing and replace them with pillows. Yeah. Give them pillows. Have them wear boy shorts and bras and put a big ass bed out there instead of a ring. Instead of a ring with ropes, have a big ass bed with ropes. Right? Give them pillows and have them jump up and down and hit each other with the pillows. Maybe we should do that instead of women's boxing. Yeah, because we don't want them to be aggressive. No. We want them to be little butterflies and flowers. And they shouldn't spar men. No, they should only spar women. And they should spar rabbits and kangaroos. Yeah. How about that? How about we do that? We don't need them boxing. We don't need women boxing. No, women pillow fights. Yeah. They'd make a lot more money. Real shit. I'm joking right now, but they would make a lot more money if they did pillow fights in boy shorts and bras. They'd make a lot more money. Anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Y'all need to knock it off. Y'all need to knock it off. Y'all want Claressa Shields to be a dainty little butterfly. She didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? She didn't grow up like that. She's a boxer. You know? And when she talks shit, she gonna talk shit aggressively. If y'all can't handle that, what the fuck you watching boxing for? Why are you into boxing if you don't like that? Why is women's boxing any different than male boxing? Women should be boxing women, men should be boxing men, And when they get ready to fight or when they're talking about their careers, they should talk shit and say they're the best. Bottom line to it. Anyway, much love. Like, share, subscribe. We're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.